Kia ora everyone and welcome back to another video in our wellness series. My name is Olivia and I'm the National Content Coordinator for the Manchester Unity Members Forum, and today's video is slightly different to the rest but is still useful to help us improve our well-being and happiness and decrease our overall stress levels. You can follow along with this video and pause and rewind wherever you find necessary. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Sofian, who will introduce himself and today's video topic.
Hi everyone and welcome to this new video about what we call the wheel of life. My name is Sofian and I'm the founder of Shaking Minds. The purpose of Shaking Mind is to create a happier life for people that comes to me all the time. So I'm a life coach and I've been practicing all around the world for the last 10 years pretty much. So today what we're going to talk about is one of my favorite tools that I use literally with all my customers. And so it's the number one thing that we do, and this is what we call the wheel of life today. So let's jump straight away into the subject about what is the wheel of life and what am I using this. So as you can see right here on the board, I actually draw that wheel of life right here. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do, you can either download the PDF attached to this video and you can print it out, or you can simply take a white piece of paper and you're going to draw a circle on that piece of paper, right? Once you draw your circle on that piece of paper, I'm going to ask you to separate that circle into 8 different areas, as you can see right here, okay? On every single one of the axes that you're going to build to break your circle, I want you to put a scale from 0 to 10. 0 will be the center of your circle and 10 will be the edge of your circle, okay? So you can simply create those little graduation here like I did, and that's going to give you your full wheel of life right there. Great. So now that you have created your circle with all the different graduation on it, we're going to start to look at all the areas one by one, and we're going to start with the first area up here. So the first area up here is called fun and adventure. What I would like you to do in fun and adventure, I would like to look at the last 3 weeks to 1 month, and I would like you to rate yourself on your level of satisfaction with how much fun and adventure you had over the last few weeks. For example, if you're going out very often, you see your friends all the time, you have a lot of fun, you feel that you're going a lot on hiking and you have a lot of adventure, you would probably rate yourself fairly easily to maybe a 7 or 8, okay? If now you feel that you haven't been going out of home very often and it's not very fun, not much of adventure, then you would rate yourself a lot lower than that, okay? So we're gonna do that together at the process. So right now, just give yourself a score from 0 to 10 on your level of satisfaction about fun and adventure over the last month, okay? So I'm just gonna do one as well, just to follow that with you. So for me, I'm gonna think about it. I'm having fairly a lot of fun, although with the last event that happened, maybe not so much. So I'm gonna give myself a 6, okay? So I'm just gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And that's my level right here of satisfaction for fun and adventure, okay? Let's move on to the second one, which is health and fitness. Health and fitness is everything related to nutrition, the way you eat, the way you look. Are you happy with what you eat and what you look, or are you kind of like, oh, I'm eating too many snacks, I need to cut sugar, or that type of things? Exactly the same as the fun and adventure, you're going to look at the last month only, okay? We're going to look at the last month for every single one of these 8 areas. So I want you to rate yourself now on health and fitness. Rate myself as a, let's say, a 7 right there. Okay. Next one on the circle is finances. What I would like you to think about when it comes to finances, this is not so much about how much money you're making. It's not about this. It's about how do you manage your money. Are you happy with the way that you're managing the income that comes right now in your bank account, right? Same, rate yourself on your degree of satisfaction, okay? Put myself as a 7 here. Okay. The next one down here will be work and business. What I would like to add to work and business could be also your mission or your purpose, because maybe some of you are already retired. So if you're retired, obviously you don't have a job anymore or you don't have to worry about a business. So I would like you to think about what's your mission, what's your purpose, you know what I mean? So rate yourself about how happy you are with your work, with your business, with how the things are going, or with the mission that you're trying to accomplish out here, okay? Same, I'm gonna reach right there. There we go. The following one will be what I call contribution. Contribution will be everything that you give without expecting to receive anything in return, okay? So let's say, for example, I don't know, you're a really good carpenter, and for example, you decide to say to the community around you, hey guys, I'm a carpenter, I want to do some project for free to help the community around me because I know that they feel that. This is contribution. For example, if you volunteer in a hospice, that could be contribution as well. If you volunteer for an event or something like this, all of that will be part of your contribution, okay? So same right here, rate yourself on your level of contribution, okay? I'll give myself maybe 6, there we go. The next one will be personal and spiritual development, okay? So when we talk about personal and spiritual development, I want you to think about what do you do to get yourself to grow. It could be at a spiritual level. If some of you are going to church or something like that, that will actually goes into personal development. Now, some of you might actually start to learn new skills such as playing the piano or playing the drums, or maybe you're learning a new language. All these things contribute to your personal development. It's about these new skills that you're trying to build, okay? So same, rate yourself on personal development. All right. The next one will be family and friends. How happy you are with the relationship that you have established with your family and your friends. What I would like you to do on this one is just to put an average between your family and your friend, okay? Rate yourself on this as well. And finally, the last one will be intimate relationship. So the relationship that you have with your partner. If you're single, I want you to think about the relationship that you have with yourself, how comfortable you are when you are just with yourself. Please be honest, okay? Very important. Same, rate yourself right there. Okay, great. So now we have covered all these different areas right here. And as you can see, I've been able to rate myself right there. Okay, it's pretty random. I'm just giving you an example here. It doesn't reflect especially mine, but you have yours as well. So something that is very important before we start to connect all the dots is when you rate yourself, I want you to be fair with yourself. I don't want you to be too harsh. Don't put yourself at a 0 because I'm pretty sure I might be able to challenge you to say, I'm sure you had a bit of fun. I'm sure you had a bit of adventure, right? So don't be too harsh on yourself. But also, if you rate yourself as a 10 anywhere, it means that it cannot be any better than that. And this is the same here. Am I going to be able to challenge you and to say, are you really sure that it cannot be better than that? It can always be better. Maybe to do a bigger hike or something like this, you know? So I would recommend, don't rate yourself as a 10. Don't rate yourself as a 0. It's going to be like an in-between. Okay, so once you're able to have all of that, you're simply going to connect the dot if you prefer, and you're going to start to draw your own circle. So I'm just going to connect all these different areas right here. And once they are all connected, I'm actually going to shade the inside of my circle. So I'm just going to shade that whole area right here. Up, just like that. And this right here is going to be my own wheel of life. So I want you to do the same to have yours, and I want you to have a look at yours right there. As you can see, mine is a bit clunky, right? It doesn't look very regular. Olivia, can you please tell me what yours look like?
Mine also looks a bit like that. It's a bit all over the place. It's not very symmetrical. It kind of looks like lots of different slices of pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you got to think about it, is the fact that you have these things with all these half-eaten piece of pizza or full piece of pizza or pretty much no piece of pizza appearing right here. And you got to think that this is your wheel with which you're supposed to go forward in life, right? A little bit scary, right? It's not going to go very well. Also, something that I see quite often, I have some people that tell me, oh no, don't worry, Sofian, my wheel is perfectly round. I'm like, really? Let me have a look at your wheel. And when I have a look at their wheel, yes, it's perfectly round, but they rate themselves at maybe a 2 or 3 on every single one of the area. So it's a very, very tiny wheel. And I'm like, okay, at least it's balanced for sure, but it's a very small wheel. So that small wheel will require a lot of effort to move forward. The bigger the wheel, the easier it is to move forward, right? So regardless of what does your wheel of life looks like, what you need to look at, what you need to think about is, this is your actual situation right here. If you prefer, it's a snapshot or a selfie of yourself at this very moment on this date. By the way, when you do that wheel of life, write down the date at the bottom right corner of the paper, or at the top right, doesn't matter. Just write down the date to say, today is 19th of October, 2020. I'm just gonna write the date right here. So later on, when I update my wheel of life, I'm gonna be able to compare, right? It's just a selfie of yourself at that moment. So that's a selfie of yourself right here. And as you can see, we have like the edge of the circle and there's a space that is getting created. That space right here is your potential, is your gap if you prefer. The edge of the circle is your full potential. What is in between is your gap. The question is, how are we going to fill that gap? And that's what we're going to look at in the next video, okay? So for the moment, for this session, very simple. You create a wheel of life right here, and this is what it looks like. I want you to have that paper with you and to print it out and to put it somewhere in the house where you can consistently see it, so it stays under your eyes. Because when we're going to build the next action out of it, you're going to need to have that under your eyes all the time. So remember, don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't be too generous on yourself. Just be fair, okay? And then you're going to have like a good snapshot of what it looks like. Olivia, do you have any questions so far?
Yes, I do. So in terms, say someone is quite busy I'm specifically talking about the contribution area on the wheel. Can contribution not be physical? So you gave the examples of perhaps volunteering your time. What about volunteering? What about giving money? Can that still be considered contribution if perhaps you don't have the time to go out and volunteer?
Absolutely. Contribution is about giving something without expecting anything in return. It could be time, it could be skills, it could be money, it could be anything else.
Awesome. That was just my only question. Thank you.
Good. No other questions for this? Then that's perfect. So that's it for that very first video. As you can see, it's short and sweet and very easy to build your wheel of life. In the next video, we're going to look at how to take your wheel of life and how to make it bigger, how to improve your wheel of life, how to use that tool as a starting point to have a new empowering life with an action plan. Okay? I'll see you in the next video and I wish you a good evening for today. Bye.